trying to get themselves involved with the reform campaign.
You got that bit wrong, mate. That's the bit that you got wrong.
Oh, how do you mean?
Well, see, the thing is that I can only talk for the Never Mind the Bollocks campaign, first of all. I'm an individual member of the Patriotic Alternative. And what I can say about the Never Mind the Bollocks campaign is that we've got absolutely nothing to do with the reform campaign. It's separate and distinct from.
Okay, but is it not you that's been putting up the vote reform banners?
Yes, it is. Yes, I've been involved with the group doing that, yes.
That's what I was going to ask you about. So, if you're not involved with that campaign, what's the thinking behind that?
Well, the thinking behind it is that I'm campaigning at an arm's length from reform, but I'm campaigning for people to go out and vote reform because it's the only vehicle that's capable of smashing the vote on the SNP and the hated Labour Party here in Scotland. It's the only viable option for our people to get rid of these imposters. And it's a waste of time voting for any of the sects, for example, the silly Scottish Socialist Party, the silly Family Party, the silly Liberal Democrats, the silly Conservatives, because they're all the Uni Party. So this is a chance for us. It's a chance. Hamilton, Stonehouse and Larkhall needs reform, and this is a chance for our people to stand up to the establishment in terms of their set agenda, cafeteria politic, for us to turn up and say no. Enough's enough.
Richard, can I ask, what was the thing that got you, because you were an ardent SNP guy, what was the thing that got you into the Patriotic Alternative?
Well, the thing was is that the SNP party became very, very a very, very hostile environment after I told Nicola off about letting the communists run the party, basically, in the letter that I wrote to her, and I subsequently got hauled up before the court at Edinburgh under Sheriff John Cook, where a smear was put on me about smurfing, and I'm not involved with money laundering in any way.
Okay, what's smurfing got to do with money laundering?
Oh, it was Sheriff John Cook was very, very angry because I'd been into the court dressed up like William Wallace. And he wasn't too chuffed because I think he's a bit of a unionist. But in any case, I was still found guilty because the minute you go into the court, you're getting found guilty anyway. And that's why we're moving forward with our Never Mind the Bollocks Court campaign. And we had a successful Bollocks Court in Hamilton 2 days ago, where we went to the bandstand and we had flew our new banner, our new colours for the Hamilton by-election campaign, and we're saying that Bothwell Bridge was built by white people. And for anybody that labels as racist, we're merely pointing out that racism is a word invented by Leon Trotsky in 1921 to cudgel debate, to shut debate down. I mean, people go by, they see we're Stop the Boats banner and they say, oh, you're a racist, but when we point that out to them and say, we're not racist, but we're racially aware, then they stop and they have a chat. And the evidence for that is up on William Wallace 2 Scooby-Doo News, where you can get a balanced approach to reporting on our activities and what we do. Because so far, our activities haven't really been 100% truthfully reported. Less so with the Daily Record, and more so with that Sun newspaper, you know.
Okay, but saying, that Bothwell Bridge was built by white people.
Yes.
What's the point in saying that? Because there
wasn't really, yes,
there
well,
wasn't really an immigrant population then, so.
Yes, but the point being is that our history's been revised, and now we're getting left-wing revisionist history being chucked at us, and they're trying to tell us silly things like the Cheeseman was a black man, that Stonehenge was built by black people and things like that, and it wasn't. It wasn't, and I'm saying to draw attention. Our campaign's based on the theme of the Battle of Bothwell Bridge, right? That's the thing, and our plan to encourage people to vote for reform is that we've been setting up north of the town, south of the town, east of the town, and west of the town before we went into the town centre. We were radical banners that haven't been seen in Hamilton for 100 years.
Okay, and I gather you actually make the banners.
No, it's Scooby-Doo that makes the banners.
Who's Scooby-Doo exactly?
Scooby-Doo is our Colonel-in-Chief for the Never Mind the Bollocks campaign, and he's one of the sitting sheriffs in the Bollocks court.
Okay, and who is he? Is he a real person, or is it just an alter ego of yourself?
Scooby-Doo? Oh, everybody that goes to Bollocks court believes in Scooby-Doo, mate.
Okay.
And nobody at Bollocks court would like to go up in front of Scooby-Doo as the accused.
But Scooby-Doo does sound a bit like you, with a different hat on.
It has been said. It has been said, but there is other people that take the role of sheriff on, and it's certainly not me. I'm taking the role of prosecution on. I try to get the Procurator Fiscal job in the Bollocks court. Doesn't always work out that way, mate. Group dynamics, you know what it's like.
Right, okay, so on another day are you Scooby-Doo?
Sorry?
On another day, would you be Scooby-Doo?
Would I be Scooby-Doo? Oh, we all take a fair turn at helping Scooby get about. We all take a turn at it, but I'm not saying that I'm Scooby-Doo. That wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be fair in the other characters that play that role within the Bollocks court.
Okay, and do you make the banners? Are the banners made in your house?
No, they're not made in my house, no, because what had happened is we were making a banner up, and what happened is Scooby-Doo went and ran into the living room and spilt the paint. So that's why we're no painting in the house. If we've got a banner to paint and it's a good day, it gets done out the back. And if it doesn't get done out my back, it gets done out my pal's back.
Okay.
And it's nice and secluded. It's not as if my banners is going to cause any of my neighbours any offence or anything like that. Because all the banners that we've decided to put out has been actually plagiarised off of what I see in GB News and what I see on what they're reporting.
Oh, so you've seen them all, the slogans elsewhere?
Yes. Well, if they've not been published elsewhere on GB News, for example, then I'm not touching it. Because try to catch you out with a hate crime. And we've had the police inspect the Never Mind the Bollocks campaign since its very inception, and the police have actually been all right with us. The police have been all right with the Bollocks court. They really have. I can say that we've always had a very professional relationship with Police Scotland, and they're fine. They're fine with us. We don't go out to rock the boat. We're just out there peacefully campaigning. We're not into any kind of violence. It's peaceful all the way. And we've had our Never Mind the Bollocks campaign up, as you'll know, up at George Square for the last 2 years, right up until they closed it, hanging our banners across for Costa Coffee. And the Daily Record have been up and took pictures and leaflets off me.
Okay. And, I mean, if you saw, are you sharing that view that the immigrants should all be sent back to where they came from?
I'm sharing the view the now in terms of, well, what the Never Mind the Bollocks campaign's saying at the moment is that we want all the people that's in our country illegally sent back as a starting point. But if you would want to ask further questions about a patriotic alternative or anything like that, then I can't answer for them because I'm only an individual member. But what you would need to do is speak to a guy called Chief Moody for the Scotland.
Okay. Alright. Listen, we have a story. I don't know if you're spoken about today, if you're going to be in Hamilton.
No, I'm not going to be in Hamilton today. I was planning to take a wee skirmish into the town centre tomorrow with Scooby and a couple of banners. It depends, because you see, we've already did the bit where we met the Erskine scabs in Hamilton town centre and we exposed them for what they were, betraying the Scots down at Erskine, says no. And then, of course, we managed to speak to the Scottish Family Party, and we managed to give that Richard Lucas a ticking off for the absolute nonsense that he'd said about the Bollocks campaign when we had took our banners up to Stewart Street Police Station on one occasion, where he actually went to the police to stick us in to see if we'd take our banners down. And the police is like, no, he's allowed to hang his banners up if he wants.
Right.
And they couldn't do anything about it, and we offered to give them a hand at Rutherglen as well, right?
What about the banner though, the one about Bothwell Bridge?
Aye.
Would you? Is that just painted on a white background?
Well, you see, what happens is it's painted on, that particular one is painted on a white background, as a matter of fact.
And is that your handwriting?
It could be.
Okay.
It could be. We've got a guy called the Padre that does most of the artwork, actually. The Padre, it was this guy I met down at Erskine says no.
Right. Okay, well, where are you going to be about tomorrow?
Well, I fancied being at Hamilton tomorrow for 1100 hours. I normally do Bothwell Bridge on a Friday, actually.
Okay. If I've got somebody in the... Well, Bothwell Bridge would be good. If you're going to be there at 1100 hours, I'll tell the photographer and see if there's somebody swings by and takes a picture.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's, because we've already done the town centre and it is the Battle of Bothwell Bridge, we're going to go up to Bothwell Bridge to commemorate the Covenanters.
Tomorrow, what time up?
Well, I'm going to be arriving at the bridge about 11, so we'll be set up for 11:30.
Okay. I'll mention that to the picture desk and see if there's somebody in the constituency doing stuff anyway. I'll tell them that you're going to be there at 11:30, okay?
Alright, mate.
Alright. Alright, Richard, thanks very much.
Right, going to do us a wee favour, mate, and tell me what your name is again.
Mark Mcgivern.
Mark Mcgivern, right, Mark. Nice to meet you. Is it? Right, I'll see you later, mate.
Alright.
Right, bye-bye, thank you.